As we first got there that night, we pulled up to the driveway and we approached a mob. I can only describe it that way. But there were media vans, there were people with cameras, there were big boom microphones and lights, and it was a scene like I've never known, right? I'm just a business professional. I work in an office. I deal with really nerdy ladies, but I don't know what it means to be approaching people with cameras, and why do they want to talk to me? I don't know. So as I approach, I start stopping, and Tony's like, no, no, no. You drive straight forward. You do not stop, and you do not look at them. They will get out of your way. I was like horrified. Oh gosh, I'm gonna run over some camera people. But he was right, they got out of my way. As we drove up the long, it's kind of a rounded hill, as we drove up the long driveway and we started pulling in front of the house, the house, it kind of sits in a bowl, and so it's a big round circle, and everywhere you could see, there was land available, there was a car parked, there were people walking through, searchers yelling Kyron's name, dogs, you saw people in orange vests, flashlights everywhere, you could hear the helicopters overhead. That's, you know, the scene, right? And I am just in awe of what I'm seeing around me. I'm getting out of the car and I just don't even know how to take this in, right? And my knees start to get weak, and I think to myself, this is hell on earth, and I have no idea what I just walked into. And it was a voice from out of the dark, but Tony's like, honey, because I started walking off. I'm gonna go search for Kyron, right? No, I'm going with them. And Tony says, no, honey, we gotta go in. We gotta go talk to people. No, we don't. No, I'm arguing with him. No, I'm gonna go search for Kyron. No, you go handle the people, right? This is your deal. You go handle them. I'm on a mission. He's like, no. We gotta go inside. Okay. So I go in the house, and it's a scene, again, like I've never seen before. There's cops everywhere, and I was thinking, why is everybody in the house? You know? I mean, gosh, I'm praying that they already searched it by this point. It is 4 hours later, so hopefully that's the case. But yeah, it was packed full of people. I can't remember how many business cards I got handed to me. I can't remember how many people shook my hand. I can't remember all their names. You know, it was crazy. But what I do remember is Terri walking up to me in that moment. And it's chaos, and I'm bawling my eyes out. And she walks up and she goes, you know how I am. Gosh, we have food. I've got coffee. There's a casserole. Oh my gosh, we have a great coffee cake. Because you know how I am. And you know, and then she starts talking about one of the cops there. Oh, he just loves coffee. So, you know, I had to brew some coffee. And even though, you know, Kane and I don't drink coffee, but, you know, he really needed coffee. So I went ahead and went through the trouble, brewed coffee. Yeah. It was like she was hosting a party. And I was thinking to myself, what in the world just happened? I just walked through a twilight zone. I don't even know what happened. I couldn't even fathom eating at that moment. I couldn't even fathom functioning or articulating a sentence. And all I could think of was, I need to go over and hug Kane. And I need to make sure that Quinn is okay. And I need to figure out who has the answers of this mess of people. And I don't know what this lady is talking about, but she needs to get out of my face. And then she hands me the photo. The photo of Kyron in front of the exhibit. And I can't tell you, in that moment, I wanted to rip him out of that photo and just save him and run away. But the one thing to note is, isn't it crazy? He picked that shirt to wear. CSI, I think it's just crazy, right? Yeah, it's crazy. That shirt, yeah, isn't that neat? Oh, I can't tell you. I was so frustrated. This is the house. Not super complex, it's kind of small, but it sits kind of up on a hill. When we first got there, there were no blinds on the windows. Everybody could see in. Everybody. Even the cops out in the front that are searching and you're going potty. Everybody can see it. So, of course, media are very aggressive. They want to help. Okay, sure. So they're peeking in the windows. Well, thank goodness for that, because then I finally got privacy in the bathroom. Because the FBI said, you know what, we're going to go run down to Home Depot. We're going to go get you some blinds for your windows. We're going to put that on the federal government. You don't need to worry about that. We're going to go take care of that stuff. And so thankfully, we got blinds up on the windows. But the media were coming up along the hillside there, peeking in the windows, trying to get all of our briefings, which were out here. You don't see it because we had a canopy out there set up with all of our chairs. That was where we were getting our regular briefings. Here's some search scenes. This kind of indicates to you how the terrain is. It's very challenging. Very challenging. We've had broken bones, we've had bee stings. We have had everything. You name it, we've had it on our searches. We also used horses and ATVs. It did help us in some of the rough terrain. And yeah, they're super awesome. I believe that law enforcement was determining whether or not we were involved at all. They came to us after a couple of hours of being there. And I truly don't know what time it was. I kind of lost track of all of that. But they came to me and Tony and said, hey, you know, we want you to go to the school and be interviewed. And I remember thinking, like, we're driving ourselves? Like, I could, if there was something nefarious going on, I could just drive off. So I think they had determined, obviously, that we were not involved. And I didn't know that at the time, but I'm questioning their protocol. Like, really? This is a thing? Huh. But they asked us to go to the school to be interviewed. So we drove down there. I now think it was intentional. At the time, I didn't understand it because I'm just Kyron's mom. I think probably Tony was aware, but I was not, right? They wanted to get our reactions. They wanted to see, as we saw everything, how we were feeling. It's like a temperature gauge, right? So as I walked into the school, it was horrible. The exhibits were lining the hall, everything from the day. And I started to feel that feeling like the world sitting on my chest, and I'm gonna puke, and I'm gonna cry, and I'm gonna pass out all at the same time, right? And I can't function, I can't walk, my knees get weak, and Tony is holding me up. And he's just trying to get me to walk, right? And then I look up and I see Ben Kiefer, the principal, coming toward me. And so Tony's wondering who this is, and so I tell him, this is the principal. And he goes, oh, okay. I truly don't remember what Ben said to me that day, that night. I just don't even know. I think he offered me his hand. I just remember thinking, God, it's gotta be like 2 or 3 in the morning, and the principal is here for Kyron, right? I was impressed and relieved a little bit that his principal would do that. it was important to me.